All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Johnny Wimbrey. I am live right now in the Dallas-Fort Worth area in the United States of America. I am super excited. Once again, I get to interview my business partners from around the world. And as always, I'm guaranteeing that the information that we're going to be bringing to you is solid, it's top-notch, and you are hearing from right now stories. Now, I want to tell you what I mean by that because I don't want to insult anybody who's massively successful. Because many times people ask me, Johnny, will you interview me on your next show, on your next podcast, when you go live? And it's not that I don't want to interview you, but here's how I look for the stories. And I'm going to congratulate these stories as I'm doing this. And I am literally looking right now to see if we are still live on Facebook. Yes, we are. All right, very good. Let me push play on that. And okay, very good. So we are live right now on all platforms. I want to welcome everybody out there. When I do these interviews, I'm looking for stories that are right now. It's not hard to find the big stories. It's not hard to find, the multi-million-dollar stories that are a part of our organization. But I want you to hear from people as if you just, started the process of home-based businesses yesterday. Who would you want to hear from? Someone who's making it happen right now, who's literally climbing in the midst of a global pandemic, literally making things happen from home. This is inspiring people. You're going to hear from people who are absolutely inspirational because they are making this happen right now at home. Of course, you could tell my story of what I've done for the last 10, 15 years, and it's impressive. However, I personally don't believe that my story is more impressive than individuals who made a decision in the last few months who are just absolutely climbing and digging through a global storm. Not only are they, maximizing the opportunities of having a home-based business, they're inviting other people and they're showing other people as well. So we're going to talk a lot about our company, which is iBoomerang, but in no shape, form, or fashion am I going to say that, listen, this interview is for my team members or our company only. I know that our founder and owner, Mr. Holton Buggs, is a very good friend of mine. I know his heart and I know his passion, and his passion is for the industry of home-based businesses. We just happen to believe that we're different. We just happen to believe that we have the number one company, the number one opportunity on the planet, and that's why we are here. But even regardless of that, regardless of what opportunity you move forward with, we just want to encourage you and empower you to start a home-based business. Why? Because I believe that entrepreneurialism is where it's at. And if you can start on a part-time basis, and these individuals that you're going to hear from, they have real lives. They have real businesses. They have real jobs. And they have started the process of using a home-based business to start buying their time back, buying their life back. And what's incredible is these three individuals that I'm going to interview, all of them create their own definition. I don't create that definition. They create the definition. What does it mean to buy my life back? Well, it's your definition. It's not mine. Maybe it's you, working 60 hours a week instead of your normal 70. You just bought 10 hours back by using a home-based business to start buying your life back. And then maybe you'll wake up 6 months from now and say, you know what? I deserve another 10 hours back from my life. And maybe you use the home-based business to buy back 20 hours from your life. And then you say, you know what? A year from now, maybe you say, hey, my full-time job is now my part-time job because my part-time home-based business has surpassed my full-time job. And maybe you call and say, hey, listen, I'll give you 3 days a week. That's all I got. Because everything else, I'm building my business. That's the definition of you starting to buy your life back. And I want you to understand, every single person that's listening to my voice right now, the hundreds of individuals who are watching live on Zoom and live on Facebook, and those of you who are watching the recording, tens of thousands of people will be watching this in the next 24 hours. But I want you to know, not one of you can say to me that you can't start the process of buying your life back right now. You can't tell me that you can't start the process that 36 months from today, that you can start the process of never having to work for another person another day in your life. And you may be thinking to yourself, okay, Johnny, that's a little extreme. Well, I live under the umbrella of extremes when it comes to being successful. I live under the umbrella of helping duplicate and create success stories around the world when it comes to thinking about extreme. Many individuals that I have helped become massively successful in the home-based business arena were in their 20s when they started. Many of the individuals who've made millions with me, they were pretty much broke when I met them. So I got them in the place when they were young. I got them in the place when they were hungry. I got them at the place that they were fired up and they wanted something different in life. And they used a home-based business to create that life, to catapult themselves to the life that they deserve. And these three individuals that you're going to hear from, these are not old stories. These are not coming soon stories. These are individuals from around the world who have right now stories. So first of all, I want to introduce from the beautiful island of Jamaica, my good friend, Ian. Are you there? If you could just say hello, Ian, we could do a sound check.
Yes, Mr. Wimbry, I'm here.
It's an honor and a pleasure to have you, man. I congratulate you. I celebrate you. I see everything that you're doing over there. And Jamaica is on fire, brother. And I'm sure that has a lot to do with you and all the leaders that are over there. Stand by. I'll come back with the questions. And then we're going to go all the way over to the Czech Republic, which I've been to the Czech Republic. And beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I've been to Prague. I've been to Brno. I've done seminars and wealth development seminars over there. We have, and you're going to have to help me. I want to say it the right way. Ladies first. Lucia.
Hello. Hello to everybody.
Okay, Lucia. And we have Jiri. How are you, Jiri?
Hi, I'm fine. Great to be with you, folks.
Wonderful. Awesome. So you guys work as a couple. We're honored to have you on today as business partners of mine all the way over to the Czech Republic. And then I believe we're going over to Sweden, Switzerland. Where are you located, Aster?
Norway.
You're in Norway. Skull.
Yes, Skull. You learned that.
Skull.
Very important. Skull.
You know what? I have been looking at this picture that we have been sending out, and I realized we sent out the wrong country flag because I know you wanted to represent your beautiful country. Tell the people where you are originally from.
Yes, I'm from Eritrea. Eritrea is in the Horn of Africa. Very beautiful country.
It is a very beautiful country. Why don't you say hello to all of the hundreds of people who are watching in your native tongue? Just say hello and welcome everybody.
Salam, salam, kami وعلكم وقعد حال متاخم.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jiri and Jiri. Why don't you guys jump in real quick and say hello in your native tongue in Czech?
Ahoj, vítáme vám z České republiky.
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
Ian, I already know what you're gonna say. Drop them one time over there in Jamaica. How do you say what's up to the people in Jamaica?
Hey, Jamaicans, wagwan.
Wagwan. I knew that was coming. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into the meat of this. I have no script. I have no particular order, but I do want to jump right into it. These individuals, I've done my best to memorize your the personal advancements of how you got qualified to be interviewed today. But every single one of these individuals, they are building through the storm. They are literally making things happen right now. Ian, I guess I'll start with you. Ian, in Jamaica, how long have you been a part of iBoomerang building a home-based business?
Get enrolled in January 29th, but I really started working February 24th.
January 29th, you took a position in the company and you started working on what day?
For February 24th.
February 24th is when you engaged and went to work. Now, if you're watching this, this is just about a couple weeks before internationally countries started locking down. Now, in Asia and different parts of the world, they were already locking down. But in the Western world, we were just starting to feel it. We were just starting to feel the fact that, hey, we may have to follow suit. So you engaged in the midst of the beginning of a fire.
Yes, sir.
What is your normal business outside of building iBoomerang?
Basically, I have a wholesale liquor store. Also, the promoter, keep events, and I also have a small restaurant.
So you're a promoter of events, which I know that personally, and you own a liquor store. Is that what you said?
That's correct.
Okay, so you manage and own different businesses outside of iBoomerang. Why would you take on this opportunity and climb the hill? Like, you know, you could have zip lined in the company, but you chose to start in the midst of what most people would use as a reason not to start.
Basically, I have an idea about network marketing. You understand? So even though I have those businesses, I always know that the quickest and the more reliable vehicle to really get what I want, that is financial freedom and time freedom, is network marketing. You understand? I know about 100 different stories. You understand? I read about the industry, and I always say, like you guys and other persons, with what I want, the lifestyle that I want, the time freedom and the financial freedom. And I know that if I give this my all, I can achieve them all. So even though I have those wholesale, I have to be there like every now and then for I to make money. With network marketing, it is just so different. It's a team sport, you understand? And once you do the work, after a while, you know that you will get the benefit. So that's me. I'm just giving this my all right now.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations. So you engaged the last week of February. How many personal people have you enrolled and brought ambassadors into iBoomerang since that day?
22 personals.
22 personals. And I want to slow down because I want people to understand. Well, let me ask you this question. Let's just say that February 24th until now, was about 2 months now? Ish, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. What is that?
Basically, I'm on
April. It's like 6 weeks.
About 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks.
Yeah, about 6 weeks. It's April. So, question: have you ever done that before in a home-based business? Enrolled 20 people? You said 22?
Yeah, never.
So you never enrolled 22 people in a home-based business ever, and you've done home-based business before with me.
Yes.
So.
Yes,
when the economy was wonderful, when business was great, you never did 22 personal enrollments as ambassadors when everything was great.
No, I never.
But for some crazy reason, coronavirus hits, something snaps inside of you, and you go out there and start rescuing people and introducing people to home-based businesses, and you did more personal production during the height of the coronavirus than you did when there was no virus and no adversities at all.
That's correct.
That's what I want to talk about today, guys. That's what this is about. The purpose and the reason of me doing these interviews is because these individuals are climbing in the midst of a storm. So let's go over, let's see. I'm going to go to Aster. Aster, who's in Norway right now. And I know that she has a many, probably hundreds, if not over 1,000 people from her beautiful native country that are watching right now. And Aster, tell us a little bit about yourself on a personal note. What did you do before you joined iBoomerang?
Okay, so as I said, my name is Aster, originally from Eritrea. So I finished my education there, and I moved to Norway in 2008 after meeting my husband in my country home and moving back to Norway. And since my graduation from the university, I've been working at different NGOs, like non-profit organizations. And right now I'm working, I'm holding my job. I work as Save the Children Norway. That's the company where it advocates and fights for children's rights so that they can be educated and protected.
So you're the person who has a heart for humanity, obviously.
Yes, I do.
And I want to dig into this a little bit because a lot of times we don't see those people as entrepreneurs. We see those people as like, Mother Teresa, who's willing to give her life and give her very last breath so other people can live. So a lot of times when you see people who are, philanthropists or people who give back for humanity, you really don't think that those individuals care about profiting. So how are you balancing this heart that you have for humanity and at the exact same time understanding, empowering yourself with financial gain so you can participate more on this side? Is that something that motivates you?
Yes, it does, Johnny. Actually, right after I started working, it was, I think, 2004, 5. I realized that actually what I want to do is a business. And this kind of job, it's really giving, it's really rewarding. I really like the job. But then at the same time, that kind of job, I wanted to do it like voluntarily. I don't want to be paid, you know. And to do jobs like that, I mean, to have projects like that, being you know, from check to check, it doesn't really take you anywhere. But if you engage in yourself in businesses where you can where you can make money, you know, and then there are a number of projects and things that I would like to, you know, to initiate myself and maybe to finance myself going forward. So that's the heart I have still for the humanitarian work, especially for the right now the position I have. It's very inspiring to me, and it's maybe I found what I wanted to do, but not maybe as paid, but I wanted to do it as a volunteer.
Wow.
So that's why I joined this industry.
Incredibly proud of you. And I know that you are a Ruby in our company. If you're watching this right now, Lucia and Jerry are executive directors, and Ian is an executive director as well. If you're not in our company, you probably have no idea what that means. That just means they are leveling up in our company and they're moving up. Ruby is a higher level up in the company. And typically I wouldn't, you know, just look for someone based on their rank or title. And that's why I don't talk about it a lot, because I want to talk about what they're doing right now. So Aster, you could have so many excuses right now. You could say, well, I live in a foreign country that's not my native home, so I can't build a home-based business. You could say, my job, which I'm really passionate about, which is giving back to humanity, so other people, other kids can live, you know, I don't really have time to take on a home-based business because I have to help people live. That could be an excuse. Your excuse could be, you know, I can't go do meetings and presentations because everybody I know is around the world in different countries. And all those excuses you could use, but instead, and you could say, you know what? We're in the height of a global pandemic. We're locked in our houses right now. You know, it's not the time to build a home-based business, but some reason you continue to push through. How long have you been in iBoomerang?
I joined iBoomerang October. I think it was end of October, like 19th and 20th of October.
That's about the same time that I engaged. So we went to work right around the same time.
Yes, I do remember.
And how many personals, ambassadors have you brought into iBoomerang since you joined?
Well, I think there are around 22, 23. I think 28 in total. But
28 total personals.
Yeah, but I have active ones that are, I think, 22, 23.
Okay.
And most of them were end of March, actually.
I was going to ask you that. So how many, were you in Houston, Texas with us?
Yes, I was.
Okay, so we had 9,000 people in Houston, Texas. We were all there. And then we all left Houston, Texas with the mindset, we're going to go to work. And then country started shutting down.
Mm-hmm.
Travel started shutting down. So we all left excited, and then reality hit. Would you say that you just said it, you personally have sponsored more people in March than you did since October?
Mm-hmm.
So this is the part that amazes me. You could have shut down and said, you know what? I'm going to go back to my regular job and give it all my time. And I'll start building iBoomerang in maybe June or July when everything is over. But something activated inside of you, and this person who wants to rescue people in philanthropy and giving back to the world, you started rescuing people by interrupting them with positive interruptions and introducing them to a home-based business. So the majority, let me ask you this. So since we left Houston, Texas, which was, I believe, the end of February going into March. Is that correct? Or somewhere, or mid-February, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So after that, when country started shutting down, you did more personal production in the midst of March, which is the worst month on record of our lifetime. And that's your biggest producing month. That's amazing. Congratulations. I'm going to come back to you. Now let's go over to Lucia and Jerry. You are in the Czech Republic. This is a very unique story. Because you guys, if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong, have you ever done network marketing before?
No.
No.
I can just tell by the way you say it. Nope. So you have never been in a home-based business in terms of network marketing.
No, we both spent last years in pharmaceutical industry.
So are you pharmacist?
No, I'm doctor,
You're a
veterinarian
doctor.
as original education.
Wow. It's gonna get interesting.
And Lucy has graduated in I would say education of adults. It's
Education.
andragogy or some strange word, you know. Education of adults, you know.
Wow. So we got some highly educated people that we're talking to right now, and you've never done a home-based business. So just for my own personal curiosity, why did you say yes to iBoomerang? Because I'm sure you've seen everything.
You know, we are in the touch with Smekar brothers already for more than half year. And they asked before, Lucy and Erik, come with us because we would like to work together with you. And we said, no, we will wait. And then we were watching, we were in the touch. And then for March 4th, 2020, we joined iBoomerang and we started to work very hard.
Okay. Are you guys starting to see the common denominator? March is the month, for some reason, that all three of these individuals just decided to turn it on, to flip the switch. Instead of turning off the switch, they flipped the switch on. So you joined in March.
Yeah.
Now, I would go so far to say that in terms of a global pandemic, global distractions that are going on all around the world, I believe that we have all lived through things in our life that have been devastating. You know, my earliest memory of life was living in a battered women's shelter. So the first memory I have about me is being homeless. That's devastating. There are things in my life that I've gone through that are devastating, but I can't think of another time in history where the entire world was paying attention to global devastation at the exact same time that wasn't at the hand of a dictator or a ruler or an evil individual who wanted to conquer the world. This is something that's spreading, that's beyond, the control of a human. It is something that's going to be stopped by a human, but it's being spread by, biology. So with all that being said, you decided to say yes in March?
Yeah.
And you've never done this before?
No, I tell you something. I'm super analytical, and I went through data. What was the leisure business spending in the history, 21st century? And there were already few epidemics like SARS, MERS, swine flu, all like pandemic. And none of these events, not even the crisis 2008, have any significant influence on leisure travel spendings. So we have the data, and we fully trust that all this thing with coronavirus will come over soon, and we really believe in this business. And for me personally, I've seen that speech of Mr. Holton Bucks, and for me it was like something that amazing.
Yeah.
That said, we want to be part of this project.
You know what? I'm so glad you said that, because it was a Holton Bugs speech that made me start working harder and less passive, because we have a mission. And our mission is to throw as many boomerangs, positive energy into the air on a global scale to help save lives, to help interrupt, people with positive interruptions. So, man, I congratulate you guys. I celebrate you. This is your first network marketing company, first time home-based business owner. How many personal ambassadors have you brought into iBoomerang since the day that you joined in early March?
So we brought until now 14 ambassadors, and totally the team members, we are 21.
22.
So 14 personal ambassadors your first time ever in network marketing, your first home-based business, and you joined in March 2020, which on record is the worst month in our history in terms of a global pandemic. And that's the month you did it, and you broke records coming out of the gate. So your team is starting to grow. It's starting to duplicate. And you may not know, and I kind of don't want to celebrate you too hard because I want you to feel like everybody does that. But the truth is, everybody doesn't bring in 14 personals their first month. And I'm talking about people who've been in multiple network marketing companies. I'm talking about people who have been in the company for 4-6 months that don't have 14 personal ambassadors. So congratulations. You're doing something right. Stay close to the Smekal brothers. They are my brothers. I'm honored to have you guys a part of the organization. And it's an honor to meet you through technology for the very first time. So I'm gonna go back over to Jamaica real quick. Jamaica, you are on an island, brother. You are on an island, and I'm saying this because you can only imagine all of the excuses that I get around the world as to why people are not having success. And their excuses normally come from, the country they live in, the translations, whatever it is. Every single one of you, you're not in North America where I'm at. So this is a very unique situation. 2 of you are in Europe. You got the Czech Republic. You got Norway, right? Okay, I've been to Norway. And I've been to Czech Republic. I've been to Jamaica, and you got Jamaica. But Jamaica's an island. Jamaica's an island. So bad news travels faster than good news on an island, believe it or not. So with everything that's going on around the world and all the excuses that you could have, how are you interrupting? Not you, I know you, you're an entrepreneur, you're a hustler, you're gonna make it happen. But how are you leading people in the midst of a global crisis?
Basically, we just share the information with them, you understand? And we try to make them know, say, hey, this is a great opportunity regardless of what are going on in the world. You understand? Regardless of the recession, network marketing is a vehicle that it basically don't see any recession. You understand? We are recession proof. You understand? And me personally, I just try to share it with as many people as possible. You understand? Because I know that some will and some won't. And for me, I feel good personally when I share the information with someone. Even if them said no, I feel good. I feel like I accomplished something. So when someone tell me no, honestly, it is like nothing to me because I smile, because I know I feel good, because I know that, hey, I had this opportunity, great opportunity, and I share it with you. If you don't want it, fine, I move on. So basically, is that what we do? Is that what the team do? You understand? And of course, we have great team leaders, you understand? We get great inspiration from them. So we're just out here and I try to show as many people as possible, you understand? Of course, people scared, people have excuses, you understand? People have doubt. But when you have a confidence and you know what you have in your hand, you understand? That actually help you to basically carry out the message more, to show more people. Understand? So that's what we basically do. That's what we basically do.
I love it. I love it, Ian. So has your promotion and party events been affected since the COVID-19 coronavirus?
All of my regular business are affected.
All of your regular businesses?
We can't keep no events.
No events. So that business has come to a halt. Total stop.
Total stop. Restaurant closed. Total stop.
Restaurant is closed. Total stop. So you're having people who are watching right now that are in similar situations. They are traditional business owners. They work for traditional business owners, and a lot of people's businesses have come to a stop. What would you say to the individuals that are watching you right now? Like, what would you say to them as to why you are using iBoomerang, not just to be a positive distraction, but to replace the energy that you would be putting in your other businesses, you're putting it here now. What would you say to the individuals who are watching right now, just as a little hope that it can work?
Are you trying to find the best deals online when it comes to your travels? I know, it could be a nightmare. Let me save you some time and of course some money. I Go For Less, the one and only platform you need to go and find the best deals online, from flights, hotels, weeks, cruises and more. This is a completely free travel booking platform where you can save up to 70% on your travels. Cool, here's what you've got to do. Step 1, go to bit.ly/travel savings code page. You'll find the link in the description below. Step 2, find and enter the code you see on the page to create your free account. Step 3, start saving, anytime, anywhere, when it is time for you to book your next trip. Pretty simple, right? And did I tell you it is free? And it also forever to use and to keep. Again, go on bit.ly/travel savings code page, use the code you'll find on the page and start enjoying your savings.
Basically, I live by a motto: what men has done, man can do. So
hold on, say that one more time. What
men has done, man can do.
What men has done.
What men has done, man can do.
Got it. And that's your model. That's what you live by?
Definitely.
And
So,
go ahead.
so when I saw the industry and I basically see all the stories from people coming from nothing to something, I'm that type of person. I had nothing before. You understand? So when I saw the success stories, understand, and I get all the knowledge about the industry and how much people it actually assisted, you understand? I have that with me. So basically, when I'm sharing this with persons, understand, I can say, hey, I know you probably have a 9 to 5, you probably have your business, etc. But guess what? Additional source of income is always great because we don't know what can happen. Understand?
Yeah.
You don't know what can happen to your business. You don't know what can happen to your job. Even right now, you have thousands of people that get laid off in Jamaica. You have thousands of businesses that close down. You understand? I'm going to say, hey, this is the plan B. This is a business that won't close down. It won't stop unless you stop. Understand? It's recession proof. So all you have to do, it won't be easy, but it will be worth it. You understand? You just have to come and just give it your all. You understand? Just like how you actually give your regular business 120%, or you actually work for someone else and you give them 150%. Just imagine if you clock into this industry. You understand? And although you're in business for yourself, you're not by yourself. Understand? We will be assisting you as best as possible to make this work. So if you give us 100%, we'll give you 100%. Even 50, we'll try to give you 100 because we know that this can work. And guess what? I always tell people it's a team sport. When my team members are winning, I am winning. And this is what I love about the industry. Understand? Yeah. Once you reach a certain level, you have to help people and draw them from that level. Try your best to carry them up, and the more you carry them up, the more you go up. So this is just an amazing industry, and I try to always say to people, hey, I know that you are used to the regular businesses, the regular job, and I'm not saying to quit those or stop those, but guess what? Start with this, do it part-time, and after a while, I guarantee, if you give it your all, if you give it your best, you will see that this is one of the greatest industries ever.
Man, I will say this, in just your passion, man, just like everything that you just said is, I care about people. I care about people. I care about people. I care about people. So even though you're not saying that, that's how I feel. I would follow you too. I would follow you too. So I think that it goes to say that the individuals who are focused on helping people, those are the ones who are having the fastest growing teams. The ones that are focused on making money, they may be a little bit more frustrated because they're focused on money. And you guys are making more money than people who are focused on money. And I'm not saying you're not focused on money, but all of you guys have like kind of the same thing where, you know, it's almost like you're passionate about sharing this thing. So I want to go back to Jiri and Lucia over there in the Czech Republic. You've never done network marketing before. March, you did more personal production than most people have ever done in network marketing, but you did it in the worst month possible according to man standards and what the human beings want us to believe. Why do you believe that this is the time to join a home-based business? Like, you know, you guys are highly educated, you're a doctor. Like, why now? Why is the time that you're putting the energy and sharing a home-based business with people the way that you are, with the passion you're doing it?
Simply because here's iBoomerang. You know, we spent years in golden cage of pharma industry, you know, and once you're getting a little older, I'm 47, Lucy is a bit younger, you know, to say the right age. The thing is that you feel that you need you have high salary, high bonuses, but you don't feel the sense. Because as you go deeper in what you do, you need to feel that it helps the others. Helps the others much more than we felt in that corporate companies, we can say. And right now, we are searching for something that has some future, that is new, that is technology, that is something that we believe that in a couple of years will be far in front of the others. So we were searching for something that has a great future, and believe that iBoomerang is that project.
I love it. Lucia?
My opinion is that now is the best time to start, because in the past I had a travel agency, and I know when what comes after. So I know for sure that in a couple of weeks, when this situation will stop, everybody will want to travel. Everybody.
Love it. So you come from the travel space. You have history. You were a travel agent?
I was the owner of the travel agency.
You owned it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna slow down real quick because I love the subject, and here's why. I've been telling people for the last 8 weeks, guys, this is the time to pour it on. I always tell people I did not join iBoomerang because of what it is today. I love what it is today, but I joined iBoomerang because of what it's going to become in the next 3 to 5 years. And I will continue to say that because I want people to understand, you love what we are now. Wait till you see when we're polished. Wait when you see, you know, when we have, you know, 20 to 30 million customers around the world, when we have hundreds of thousands of ambassadors around the world, where, you know, when we have, you know, drivers for Vibe rides around the world. But more importantly, history shows this, and Lucia, you can correct me if I'm wrong. The travel industry booms after a crisis.
I'm sure.
And it's the same reason that Netflix is booming right now. It's the same reason that Apple TV is booming right now. The reason they're booming is because people are getting those mental vacations, those 90-minute vacations. You know, I watched a movie last night with my family, and it's a 90-minute vacation from reality. It's a 90-minute vacation of distraction from what's going on in the world. So if that's the only way we can go on a mental vacation, what do you think the people are going to want to do when they really can go on vacation? So as an entrepreneur, as a business person, is it better for you to be positioned before they start traveling again? Or do you want to get positioned after they travel? An entrepreneur says, I want to be in position before it happens. An entrepreneur says, how can I get positioned early before the next wave comes? And I believe that's why, and I'm not kidding, I saw more production in the last 6 weeks in my organization than I've ever seen. I've never seen so many individuals moving up in ranks in a company in a six-week period like I've seen in the last 6 weeks. So, and speaking of those individuals, Aster was one of them. Aster, you just came out of nowhere. And, you know, when I say nowhere, I'm not exaggerating. I had no idea who you were in February. I started to hear a little bit about your name, not because you wanted me to know your name. You were doing things to get my attention like producers do. And March was a huge month for you. Not only did you move up in rank and had, you know, massive personal production you've had a lot of people in your team move up in rank in the last 6 weeks. Let's talk about that.
That's right, Johnny. Actually, the thing is that since we started this business in October, the team has been really showing the progress. We have been showing the progress all the time from the get-go, from the start. The leadership and the way we were working in the team, in the organization was really great. We have a great mentorship from Alex and Jennifer are the ones, when I joined, I remember asking Martha. Martha was the one who brought me in here, and I told her that network marketing, I'm new to the network marketing. I've never done it before. I don't even know what online business means. So if I'm going to join, there must be a support system there. So she promised me that, yes, the people that we are working with, they are hands-on, they're solid leadership, they're going to support, even if I'm not here. And as she said, Alex and Jennifer really stepped up and helped us from the start, both setting the culture of the organization, the leadership. We have activity all the time. So if you see in our team, people are doing always something. Yeah. Either they are in Zoom, or they are sending boomerangs, or they are in inspiration calls, or they're in three-way calls. We have every day, we have activity every day. So I think this has really been progressing, starting from October, November, December, but then in March, February and March, really it exploded. And I think it's both to do with the what we have been really doing, but also the situation has a little bit changed, and people started to see, well, there is a possibility here. And if you see even the opportunity by itself, but when I say opportunities, the iBoomerang, it's very, how do I say, it's the threshold is very low to join. You don't really need that much of education. You don't really need that much of experience from before. You don't really need, all you need is the passion, the desire, and then you can start and launch your business from the day one. I see this in my team all the time. Actually, I have one who joined, I think it was end of March, and now he's almost the Sapphire. And I have people who have joined actually, in April, the first week of April already. They are senior directors, and they are really killing it. It's amazing. I think it's both the opportunity, what the system, what the business is providing, but also the continuous activity we do in our team and in the leadership.
Wow. I am so impressed, Aster, with you and your team and Martha and, all the upline leadership, Clay Fishman, Jen and Alex, Lloyd. I mean, you just come from a really, really good leadership, and all of you guys do. The Smelkow brothers over there in the Czech Republic. Ian, you're blessed to have, Michael Jex, definitely Horace, and so many more over there that have derived and built coming from out of Jamaica. But Aster, I can see all the production that goes on in my organization. I can't see the entire company, but I can see my organization. Martha's team, which you are in, and you are a huge reason. She's literally one of the fastest growing segments in all of iBoomerang right now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying highest producing segments. I'm talking about fastest growing month over month or week over week. And I'm sure she doesn't mind me sharing this with you because she shared it with me. In January of 2020, I want to say that Martha's team, which you are in, did about $40,000 in business and unqualified volume that month. And even if you're watching this, you have no idea what I'm talking about. The numbers don't matter. Just pay attention to where it goes from there. That was January. Now, in February, over $80,000 in monthly production. It doubled. So she went from Ruby to Emerald all within a matter of weeks in our company. Mm-hmm. In March, about $150,000 in production. 40, 80, 150. March was 31 days, 150 in 31 days. It is April the 13th right now. April the 13th, we're not even halfway through the month. And the last I checked, it's probably more than that now, but the last I checked, she is already over 170,000. I guarantee it's more. It's probably closer to 200. But the last that I checked, she was over 170,000 in 13 days. Something magical is happening in this team. And I would 100% trace it back to energy. It's not education. It's not because they understand the systems and they studied all the technology that creates iBoomerang to be the fastest growing network marketing company in 2019 in the world, which we were. In 2019, iBoomerang was the fastest home-based business growing company in the world, and we happened to launch in 2019. We didn't really launch until September of 2019. So even all the other companies who had an entire year, we still were the fastest growing network marketing company in 2019. Now, you guys are one of the fastest growing teams in all of iBoomerang in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic. So, Aster, you got people who are watching right now who are saying, you know, I'll wait, or the timing's not good. And these are members. Most people are watching. We got hundreds of people watching on Facebook right now. I'm looking at it live. 222 people on Facebook. Right now, we have 298 people watching live right now on Zoom. And I'm sure thousands of people will be watching this in the next 24 hours because we'll have this posted everywhere. But what would you say to the person who's in iBoomerang that could have did what you could have done what they're wanting to do, which is wait until this is over? What would you say to that person?
Why would you wait? It's because, you know, I even when the coronavirus started to hit and people were talking about, okay, well, what are we going to do now? There is this coming, and I didn't really get it at first, because why would we stop working? Because iBoomerang is not for today, as you were saying. iBoomerang is, you know, for the future. For the trials are not going to happen today or tomorrow. I mean, it's business as usual for us. So there is no really any change in terms of the system of the business and how the business works. That's first. And second is that it's always a choice, Johnny, that we could choose not to do, or we could choose to go to work. There are things that we can control and there are things that we cannot control. So when we were working during this Corona time, actually it was even the busiest months, not only because of the, you know, our life completely changed here, because everything was closed. I still work because we just moved work to home office, and the schools were closed, so we were also schooling the kids. So everything was really, and I had other family emergency as well in March. So I could have said that, you know what, no, this month is not really good for me, and I could stop it. But then it's all about choice. Our life is full of choices. The question is what we choose. Corona is happening. We acknowledge it. We are very sensitive to it. We are following the rules. We work even more. My job is I am needed to work even more because there are also situations happening where our projects are going. But then at the end of the day, I have to make time and create. You know, I have started this opportunity, and when I started it, I know why I have joined it. So for me, saying that I'm not going, now I'm going to stop for March, it means that I'm also stopping why I joined this company to begin with. So it's always about going to why you started this business, because I was looking for opportunities, it's Johnny. And then when I got this opportunity, and it really, for me, it clicked. It's like coming through Marta and then iBoomerang. Actually, I was reading and looking at some of the presentations before. And then when the opportunity came in, and I was like, okay, this is meant to happen. And once it's in my hand, it's a great opportunity. And then it's my responsibility to make it great. So, and to make it great, you have to go and work. It doesn't come by itself.
Wow. I love it. I love it. And just one more thing that I want to point out with Aster is, Aster, you are in Norway, which is not your home country, but you're building all over the world. What can you just name a few countries that you're building in right now where your team is, you know, expanding and growing with momentum?
Oh, it's all over. It's
I want you to brag. I listen, not be humble.
It's Norway, it's Sweden, it's Italy, it's Germany, it's Canada, it's USA, it's South Africa, it's Angola, it's Sudan, Juba.
Sudan.
Yeah.
Israel.
Israel, exactly. Yeah, to name the few.
And here's why I wanted you to do that. Because there are people right now that have excuses and they really believe that they can't do this in their country. They really believe that, oh, well, if I was Aster in Norway, I could be making this work too. She's not just making it happen in Norway. You guys got to understand, we're all confined to our home. And, I look at Ian, I look at Jerry, I look at Lucia, like we all may be building in our respected countries, but because of technology, Aster is showing us as an example that working from home has a whole new definition today than it did 50 years ago because of technology. There's technologies that exist today that didn't even exist 15 years ago. And it allows us to do what we're doing right now. So everything is in our favor. The question is your mindset in your favor? You hear what I just said? Everything in the world is in our favor right now. Why? Because corporations are telling us to work from home. So that's evidence that we could have always been working from home. So now the corporations are saying work from home to help save our company. There's nothing wrong with that. But look what they're not saying. What they're not saying is you could have actually been doing this for yourself, but you chose not to, so do it for me. So all of us right now, we are building a home-based business while the world is at home, and the absolute explosion that's going on has nothing to do with our respected countries that we live in. It has something to do with who do you know that's at home? Everybody. So that's who you want to build with. I'm seeing people say, Sudan, South Sudan, Uganda, Ethiopia, Egypt, Finland, Belgium. Aster, you wouldn't brag, so they're bragging right now. In here, oh my God, just all over the world. So, Lucia, when you saw this opportunity, which one of you guys saw it first? For some reason, I'm going to think it was Lucia, but I could be wrong. Maybe you guys saw it together. Lucia saw it first. So when you saw this, Lucia, how did you get excited about it, and how did you take it back to Jerry?
Yes. I was in the project before, which I didn't like at all. And I needed to get some energy. So I went to, it was a boom party or blitz to Brno with Smekar brothers. And I came back at the evening, and I was totally excited. And I said, yes, we go for it, Jiri, but you make a meeting with Smekar Bros and you will decide. And he went for a meeting after 2 days, and he came back and said, yeah, we go for it.
Did you think she was crazy?
Already decided,
So she already decided. She brought it back to you, and she sold you on talking to the Smelkel brothers, and that's how you got involved. And so are you guys predominantly building in the Czech Republic area?
Yeah, mostly yes.
Okay.
But unfortunately, Czech mentality is more employee mentality, not entrepreneurship. But we contacted people we know from around the world. So we got some people. We are in contact from like Central European countries. Some people from Canada, USA. Now today after this we'll plan South Africa. So
beautiful. I want to correct it. I want to say something to you, Jerry, because I know this is your first time being in a home-based businesses. I've done this for 20 years. I joined when I was 25. I'm 45 today. All right. So here's what I know about people, and what I found out about people is, for some reason, we believe that where we live is different than the rest of the world. And here's what I found out. Now, I've traveled around the world. I've done seminars all over the world, from Singapore to Sydney, Australia, to Zimbabwe, to, Nazareth. I mean, I can just go on and on and on around the world. Every every part of the world thinks like an employee, not just Czech Republic. I promise you, it is all over the world, and it's exactly the same there as it is here. The question is, who's going to interrupt that thinking the fastest? And the person who interrupts that thinking the fastest will make the most money in iBoomerang. And here's why. Because anytime you can catch somebody in an uncomfortable situation, their mind is more open. You know, the mind works like a parachute. And normally the parachute is closed, just like the mind. So people who have the faithful employee mindset, they're not coming from a negative thinking, they're coming from a programming. Negative sounds like this. You're crazy. I can't believe you're doing one of those things, bro. Like that's coming from a negative place. But when people think to themselves, everybody can't do it, they're thinking like an employee. Because an employee says, if you don't give me a key to my office, if you don't give me a chair to sit in, if you don't give me a computer to type in, it's not going to work. The company has to supply everything for it to work. And that's the way the companies want us always to think until now. Until now, they finally are forced to admit that it's possible to make money at home. The question is, are you going to do it just for them? Or are you going to start the process of buying your life back, man? Buying your life back. If you used a home-based business, let's just say iBoomerang, I'm very partial. You join iBoomerang and you use this company to start buying your life back, 36 months from now, life will look totally different. Like when you go to work, it's a different attitude. You're not showing up mean and mad. You're just showing up because it's your job. But you know that the day is coming that you're going to replace that income. So now your boss is going to be like, why are you so excited? You know, why are you showing up early for work? You know, why are you working with a different mindset? We want to give you a raise. No, I don't want your raise. I'm just being faithful to the process. Well, what are you talking about? I have my process. I'm being faithful to it. You can keep, wanting to give me a raise. I'll give myself a raise. And that's what's going to happen. And we're already starting to see it happen. So I'm going to go back over to Ian real quick. And at any point that you guys want to ask each other a question, because I'm sure you guys have curiosities about each other, you guys can coach and train each other. Just take a second and ask each other a question. And if you think of a question, just go for it. But Ian, back over to Jamaica. Now, I'm going to say something and it's probably going to get me in trouble, but it's okay. I'll get myself out of trouble right after I say it. I have built in the islands from Barbados is where I started. And I built massive organizations throughout the Caribbean, throughout St. Lucia, Trinidad, St. Vincent, Grenada, even Jamaica. Jamaica was actually the last country that I started to build in, which came from you guys. But I mean, even Puerto Rico and just, different islands. We're building in the French islands right now. And the island culture is different. The island, like you got to imagine, these guys can put their sandals on and just start walking and hang out for 3 days looking at God's, great, beautiful creations. So a lot of times it's easy to get distracted by beauty and utopia where, it's more fun to sit on a beach and live life than it is to create a life for your children's children. How are you, or how have you been? Do you think right now that everybody being at home in the house is working in your favor as you're building?
Definitely.
Definitely?
Exactly. Just like what they just said. Right now, people are realizing that they can work from home. You understand? Their employers basically are telling them to work from home. I just said it, Mr. Wimbury. Understand? They have been working so many years in all these industries, and they never think that it was possible to actually work from home. So hey, why won't you build a business for your own that will benefit you, understand, and your future, your family, and your future generation if you build it the right way? Understand? So people are basically start to they want to basically disrupt right now because they want to say, hey, so all along could I work from home? Was that possible? You understand? So we have to just continue paint that picture. You understand? Because everybody's at home now. So if I want to show them my presentation, all I have to do is book an appointment because you're at home. You can't give me an excuse, say, hey, you're at work or you're on the road because we also have curfew. So my mindset is basically, hey, I'm going to show this to as many persons as possible. I might not get to show you today, I might not get to show you tomorrow, but at the end of the day, I'm going to show you. Understand? And basically, it's impossible for me not to show you. I would just tell me directly, say, I don't want to see this. And then I say, all right, cool. But right now, with everybody at home, I think it is our advantage as ambassador to show everyone because now they are more open, they are more acceptable to the fact, say, hey, I can actually build a business from home. Understand?
Absolutely. You know, you just said something that really took me back because a lot of times I forget, and I talk about it, but I forget to talk about it too. But, you know, after 9/11, you know, when the World Trade Center was hit, I remember that day. You know, I was a brand new father, newly married. I was only married for like maybe two or 3 years before that. So I'm newly married, live in a brand new home. I'm a new father, brand new baby. You know, my baby was, you know, Psalm, she's 18 now. And at that time, she's maybe 2 months old. And 9/11 happened. And I remember, you know, I'm in home security sales. I sell home security systems and I sell health and life insurance. And I remember I literally sat home holding my baby with a pull-out couch in front of the TV in the living room. I didn't even go to my bed. I just sat on the pull-out couch for about 14 days. This is Johnny Wimbrey, the motivator. This is Johnny Wimbrey. Like, this is before I knew about home-based businesses. I was in sales. I didn't have anybody call me like you're calling people in and interrupting their process. I was devastated and I was hungry. And I remember coming up to this conclusion. I will never, ever, ever allow myself to be here again. What do I mean by that? At 25 years old, I made a decision. I was 26 at the time. At 26, I made a decision. February the 11th. No, it was the year 2001. Yeah, it was actually right after I joined home-based businesses. When was 9/11? 9/11 was the year 2001. So my baby was just born. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to use a home-based business to make sure that I'm never in this situation again. I had just was introduced to the business when I was 25 and 26, 9/11 happened. So imagine being super excited about having a home-based business, doing hotel presentations, being that guy on stage that's building. And now 9/11 happens, right? And I just remember thinking to myself, I'm not going to allow outside devastation to control my children's future wealth. And I knew I wanted to build generational wealth. I had one kid and I used that as my platform. And here I am 45 today. And I look back at the decisions I made in the midst of that tragedy. And I can tell you right now, I'm prospering. Right now, during the coronavirus, these guys are prospering during the coronavirus. And that's not coming from an insensitive place. It's actually coming from a sensitive place. And the sensitivity part of me says, I have to leave an inheritance for my children's children. That's what I learned. Those are my concrete biblical beliefs. I believe that it is my God-given obligation to leave wealth for my children and their children and so forth and so on. And this business has allowed me to do that. And now my kids are watching me work from home right now. My kids are watching me do what I'm doing right now. They can hear me in their rooms right next door doing this right now, which is showing them and teaching them that when things go wrong, you don't go with them. When life goes wrong, you don't have to go with it. When things go wrong in society, you don't have to go wrong with it. It's wrong to be just sitting on your couch doing nothing. It's wrong to allow all this devastation to distract you from generations that will live beyond you. Here's what I know about the human race. We are undefeated as humans. Nothing has taken us out. We are undefeated as a human race. So why am I saying that? We're going to get through this. We're going to get through this. if we're going to get through it, why not have a positive distraction while you're getting through it? Why not be setting yourself up for a major comeback when the world starts traveling again? If you don't know who we are and you're watching this as a member, as a guest and not a member of iBoomerang, you really should get back with the person who invited you to this call. You really, really should contact the person that led you to watching this interview and ask them, how can I get involved with this thing? If it worked for Ian in Jamaica, I can make it work for me too in Connecticut. If it's working for Jerry and Lucia, Lucia in the Czech Republic, maybe it can work for me too over here in Seattle. Maybe it can work for me over here in Hong Kong. Maybe it can work for me over here in Sydney, Australia. And if it's working for Aster in Norway, maybe it can work for you in Texas. Maybe it can work for you in Canada, just like it's working for her all over the world. Why? They are distracted with positive energy, and they're using this energy to build globally. So as we're closing this call out, I want each and every one of you guys individually just to share maybe 60 seconds to 2 minutes of anything in your heart. Like when you're talking to prospects, when you know that you're, the thinking that people are having right now, you're that positive interruption. You're that, you're that interruption that's getting people to think outside the box right now. When most of the world is at home and you know it, you're using it as your advantage. What would you say to someone who's watching right now that your words could be that deciding factor, that they decide to just turn it up for the rest of April? They decide to take it up to another notch for the entire month of April. So let's start. I'm going to go back to Jerry and Lucia. If you guys could just start off anything that you want to share for about a minute or two. And don't leave, because I want to close out with some dynamic stuff to get you off the ground. But I want you to listen to our 3 superstars that we're interviewing today, and we'll start over in the Czech Republic.
Yeah, I will say very shortly, if you are staying at home on the home office, just start now. Not tomorrow, not the after tomorrow, not next month, now. That's a message from me.
For me, it's all about passion. Passion for a project, and build something new, because it's 21st century, it's new era. So we have a chance to build the new source of income. And doesn't matter if you will use it as a part-time for the moment, keeping your safe job for the moment, or if you go in with Lucy, all in, have it as a full-time job. It doesn't matter. As Lucy said, start now. The chance is now, and if you start to build your future now, you will see the results sooner than those who wait.
Beautiful. I appreciate that. And if you guys want to say anything to each other, you're more than welcome. Let's go over to Jamaica and Ian. Ian, if you'll just kind of close us out with a minute of 2. You got people who are watching. You've been massively successful convincing people to join iBoomerang. So what would you say to somebody who's watching right now who hasn't stepped up to the plate like they probably could be stepping up? What would you say to these individuals who are watching?
Okay, all right. First, I would like to I would like to just shout out to my sponsor, Sharika Nation, the person who showed me this.
Yeah, she's a beast.
I thank her, because trust me, it's a great opportunity, and she went out of her way to actually show me this opportunity, because when she wanted to show me, I didn't give her the time of the day, and she actually drove and come to where I am. So thank you very much, Sharika Nation. Thank you very much.
Can I stop and say something real quick? I'm sorry. Let me say something. That's the gratitude that people will have if you show them iBoomerang. Like, he had no idea he'd be interviewed 4 or 5 weeks later, but he's showing gratitude to the person who showed it to him, which means some of us are being selfish. We're being selfish. And he's saying, thank you for sharing this with me. Go ahead.
Yeah. So with that said, basically what I would say to persons watching this, I would ask them a question. Are you comfortable with your current situation? And more than likely, 90% would say no, they are not comfortable. I would say, okay, great. Well, I can show you something. I can show you a system that is already in place that can make you feel much more comfortable once you are willing to work with us and with the system. You understand? We will actually encourage you. We will have you like our baby. We will show you the way and we will guide you. And me personally, our team personally, one of our missions is to assist everybody to be successful once they want to be successful. They have to have that mindset. They have to want it. You understand? Because we show persons and they probably come in the business and they don't do no job, they don't do any work. You understand? They don't participate in their own success. Fine. But the ones who want to participate in their own success, without a doubt, I'll be there for them. I'll answer a call 24/7. I will do a 3-way call. You understand? I will just be there with them every time once I see that they are hungry just like me. Because I'm hungry for this. You understand? I need this. You understand? Because as I say, I want generation wealth, and I know that this is the vehicle that can make this possible. So if it take me 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, I'm just looking in the future, not in the now. You understand? Because I plan to live long. So if I'm going to live long anyway, why not do what I need to do now? So in the future, my life can be much more easier. Then I can say, hey, I'm just going to do what is easy now. And then in the future, my life is hard. No, I am willing to sacrifice right now to get what I want in the future. And that is the same mindset I try to basically instill in people. You understand? Most of them are not comfortable. You understand? And guess what? They can use this opportunity and do wonders with it. I remember the first time I was introduced to this industry. I never have no experience. Understand? Somebody get me somehow in their house and show me a presentation. And when I look at the presentation, I said, hey, if that person did it, I can do it. That's how I think. What man has done, man can do, and I live by that. So it don't matter how great the achievement is. If somebody do it already and pave the way, all I have to do is plug in and be a humble student and learn as much as possible till I basically reach where I want to. So that's basically
one. I love it. Man, there's a lot of stuff you said right there that I could probably talk for another hour peeling that apart. But I appreciate you, brother. Congratulations on your success. And thank you for not being selfish with this opportunity and taking it to people with the mindset of saving people like all of you guys are doing. So let's go all the way over to Norway, and we're going to allow our last individual who's absolutely exploding this month to just kind of send us away. Like if, you know, Aster, if there's something that you want to share right now, there are people watching. There are people who maybe after hearing from the first two ending testimonies, if you will, that maybe something has opened up inside them. Maybe something is saying to them, yeah, I'm not really doing what I know I could be doing, or I'm not sharing it the way that I know I can be sharing it. I want to do what Ian is doing. I want to do what Jiri is doing, what Lucy is doing, and I want to do what Aster is doing. What would you say to that person right now to just kind of push them over the edge of letting them know that if it's possible for you, it's possible for them?
Exactly. Yeah, so thank you so much, Johnny. Actually, at first, I want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity. It's really an honor to work with you. It's the last 6 months I have known you, and so I have been admiring you, Johnny. So this is a great honor to be on this interview. Thank you so much. And also, I would like to say thank you to the team that we work with. You know, they are so inspiring. They're resilient. They're positive. They work hard, and they make me work hard as well. It's very hard to run, you know, with this team because they are so energetic, and I really appreciate them. I also appreciate our leadership, Martha, Alex, you know, Lloyd, Mr. Clay Fishman, everyone who is in that chain. I'm really grateful for them. But my message to is in like two parts. The first is for those who are, you know, looking for opportunities, and they say that I want to change my life, I want to do this and I want to do that. But then I also say that you need to take an action. You know, I was thinking about this, and if I didn't take that action, I wouldn't be here. I mean, it's better to take an opportunity or a risk and fall instead of not taking it, and then you are in the same place. I'm always, you know, inspired by the thinking of, I'm not, my background is not from farming or from farmers, but that is one profession that I really admire. A farmer is someone who doesn't really, who is full of faith, you know. They have 5 kilos of corn, for example, and then they know that this is like, they could have eaten it, but they go and then they sow it, isn't it? They see from 5 kilogram of corn, they see 500 kilogram of harvest. Wow. If they don't go and sow it today, if they don't go and work today, it's a guarantee that next year they are in the same position. So it's, if you don't take a risk, if you don't take any action, I mean, not taking a risk is a risk by itself, and that's a big risk. So this is for those who are looking for opportunities, for those who are trying to change their life, but they are not taking that step. That first step is very important to take. So I encourage them to take it and fall, and then maybe fall forward and get up again and then run again. And for those who are giving an opportunity, I am so grateful. I've been looking for opportunity before, Johnny, and now I have the opportunity that I want to give, that I can give. And I encourage people to give this opportunity really without any prejudgment. You know, everyone can do this, and you never know who is going to come out and succeed from this. So that opportunity is for those who are looking for it. Find those people. You know, you have to reach so many people, and the ones that are looking for they will be found. So this is my you know, for those who are looking opportunities, and those for they have opportunity that they can share. This is my advice.
Thank you. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot. I appreciate that, and I think that just listening to all of you guys, all 4 of you, it's obvious to me that that you guys are truly ambassadors of iBoomerang, and you got to understand, you know, that's what we call our distributors. But an ambassador is one who champions the cause. An ambassador is somebody who falls in love with something, and they are going to champion the cause. They're going to complement that cause. They're going to take that cause to the world. And we get paid to do that. We get paid to take this to the world in a major way. I congratulate you guys. I celebrate you. Jamaica, Czech Republic, Norway, and beyond. I appreciate all of you guys being with me today, and I'll leave you guys with this. And I'm going to piggyback with something that most of you guys said. And Aster just really just hit on it as well. Not taking a risk is a risk. And, you know, I teach entrepreneurialism on a global scale with or without iBoomerang. I have done well over $1 billion building in home-based businesses and revenue. And I've helped, you know, over 30 people make over $1 million in this industry directly. And I would even say that I've helped thousands of people, you know, create a 6-figure income on an annual basis in home-based businesses through my coaching and my leadership. And I will say this, with all that being said, I would not have been able to help any of them, not even myself, if I didn't take a risk. There was a study that was done, and I read this when I was 25 years old. Something about being at age 25 for me was monumental because I made some major decisions in my life at 25. And they say by the time you're 25, this is an extra bonus study. They say by the time you're 25, you have already passed up the opportunity to become a millionaire twice. Mm-hmm. Think about that. I heard that study when I was 25. So I can only imagine what the number is today. That was before technology was booming and going crazy. It made it more accessible. But here's what I want to leave you with. There was a study with elderly people on their deathbed. Again, this is a study I heard for the first time when I was 25. And the study said the number one regret for the elderly on their deathbed, number one regret, was I wish I would have taken more risk. Now, these are elderly people on their deathbed. They're not leaving that bed. There's no reason for them to lie. There's no reason for them to give us a poetic answer. They're on their deathbed and they want to leave with honesty. They want to leave sharing something to us that is the most impactful information that they can get to the world that lives beyond them or before them or that's going to live after them. The number one answer was, I wish I would have taken more risk. There are people who are watching right now who are in their 20s. I heard that for the first time when I was in my 20s, and it changed. It rocked the very foundation of my soul. I refuse to allow that to be my number one answer as I'm on my deathbed. When I'm on my deathbed, I don't want to have to look at my kids and say, I wish I would have taken more risk. And I'm telling you right now, if you're not a risk taker, you're never going to be a risk taker. The elderly people on their deathbed, when they said, I wish they would have taken more risk, I didn't really understand it at first. It took about 2 years for, I would repeat the quote and I would repeat the study, but the truth is it took me about 2 years for it to make sense. And then it hit me out of nowhere. To take a risk is only a moment. Not taking a risk becomes a lifestyle. That's what they were saying. It's only a moment. If you are the type of person that doesn't take risk, that's a lifestyle. So you run from moments. It's only a moment when you take a risk, to a lifestyle of something you end up regretting. And you really don't know until it's your final years that you could have done more. Don't be that person. So I leave you with this on behalf of my business partners, my global business partners. I do these interviews, nothing more, no other reason, but with the hope that somebody's watching from around the world that makes a decision today that will create wealth for your children's children. And I did it in a home-based business. I've helped hundreds of people, thousands do it in home-based businesses. I don't know another industry where you can spend a little money and have the potential of making a heck of a lot, like home-based businesses, like network marketing. Sure, I could talk about real estate, but you got to have a lot of money and a lot of time to even start in real estate. And home-based businesses, Lucia and Jerry is a perfect example. They just joined us. They're new, and they're being interviewed their first few weeks into business because of what they accomplished and what they've done. So this is an example of individuals and people who are building a business from home while we're all dealing with the same thing from different sides of the world and every part of the world in between. These three individuals are making it happen. You're either going to have excuses or you're going to have success. You can't have both. One of them you have to give up. You have to give it up right now. Give up success and keep your excuses. Or give up your excuses and run towards success. The number one regret for the elderly on their deathbed is, I wish I would have taken more risk. The risk of Sherika calling in to show him to show him this opportunity, that was a risk. But look where it got her, and look where it got him. The risk of the Smekal brothers saying, Jury's a doctor. I'm not a doctor. So I can't go tell a doctor about this opportunity. It took a risk. And now both of you guys are being interviewed right now. Aster Aster doesn't have time. She works her butt off for a charity. She's a giver. She's a highly educated individual in Norway. She's not going to have time for iBoomerang, so I'm not going to share it with her. But somebody took that risk to give her a call. And I'm telling you right now, the people that I see in our team pages on Facebook, our team chats that are welcoming new people, that are celebrating new people, that are celebrating their new people for hitting rank, all I see is risk takers. When you welcome somebody to the team, I see somebody took a risk and invited that person to the team and they said yes. Well, Johnny, what if they say no? It's none of your business if they say no. It's only your business if they say yes. Wayne Gretzky said 100% of every shot never taken never goes in. 100% of every shot that you never take, it's 100% guaranteed it will never go in. And the only reason you won't take a shot is because you're afraid to take risk. And the number one regret for the elderly on the deathbed is I wish I would have taken more risk. Go take a shot. And I hope to be interviewing you very soon. God bless you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this. I will send out the recording of this soon, and it's available on my Facebook page at Wembry. It's available at Wembry. Stick around because I want you guys to do a last minute picture. So at Wembry on Facebook, this is still up. So you can start watching it, start a watch party. As a matter of fact, I'm going to encourage all of you guys to start a watch party on your Facebook page in about 15, 20 minutes from now and rewatch this and invite people to watch it with you. And God bless you guys. I appreciate you. Get in those team chats, get in the team pages, welcome people, celebrate people. You may say, well, Johnny, I don't have anybody to celebrate today. Go celebrate the new people who aren't your people. Because when you do bring new ambassadors in, you want us to celebrate, right? You want us to celebrate your ranks. You want us to get behind you. You want us to get excited for your new people. So you need to get excited for other people's new people as well. Show the global love. All right, guys, Ian, Lucy, Jerry, Aster, let's take a big screenshot. Everybody take a screenshot. Screenshot. Deuces. This is the boom. These are boomerangs right here. Tag us on social media at Wembry, Instagram at Wembry on Facebook. Screenshot us. Let me know what you thought about this. And we'll see you at the next pop-up interview, showing individuals and interviewing people who are absolutely killing it and making money because they have a home-based business. God bless you guys. We'll see you next time.